Okay, now that you've completed your personality assessment through 16personalities.com, let's start exploring a bit. And just a reminder, the purpose of this personality assessment is not to label you or to put you or anyone else in a box. It's actually to help you recognize the strengths that you have and any potential challenges that could present themselves when you're working with others. The better you know yourself and those that you work with, the more productive you can be. So, who are you? What did the assessment reveal or confirm about you? Let's take a moment to break down the categories of personality that the assessment was designed to explore. First, there was the introvert and extrovert, which is really not well understood in society today. We tend to think that, oh, an introvert is someone who's closed up and quiet and reserved, and extroverts are exactly the opposite. But actually, introversion or extroversion has to do with where do we draw our energy. So some of us draw our energy from within, our inner world, and others do it from the world around us. Um, and the important part to remember about each of these categories that we're looking at, that there is no right or wrong. It just simply it is the way that it is. And no, I don't think that anyone is ever 100% this or 100% that. I know I love to go to a concert and be in the midst of thousands of people, and there's an energy there that is wonderful and exciting and powerful. And I also know who probably when that concert is over, I just need to get alone in order to kind of re-energize myself. That's just knowing how to balance our energy and also to balance our schedule when we're working. It can pull on the ways that we get our energy. And so we want to take that in consideration. Then there's the sensing and the intuition. So really this is kind of our perception of information. Do we tend to be the kind of person who is very focused on facts and information? Facts, just the facts, nothing else added to it. Or do we tend to be the kind of person when they're perceiving information, they're looking to not only just the facts, but also adding meaning to it or interpreting what those facts could mean? Maybe not just one thing, but multiple things. So there's sensing and there's intuition. There's also the way that we process information in terms of how we make decisions about that. And so it could be thinking or feeling, whether you are looking first at logic and consistency would be in the thinking category. But if you're more leaning into thinking about people or circumstances that may be impacting the situation or event, then maybe you are leaning into the feeling category. And there's also judging and perceiving. And this is kind of like how we like to live our outer life, the structures that we have in place. I know that judging word threw me off a little bit. I don't think that it means that you're a judgy kind of person or you're critical of others. That's not what it's meant to intend. Maybe they need a better word for that one. But it really refers to how you prefer things to be. Do you prefer things to be decided and structured and organized and consistently that way? Then you would fall into that judging category. Or if your outer life is more just staying open and being flexible, is the way you toward lean, then you might be leaning into more of a perceiving category for your personality. And you may be surprised, as I was, by some of these. I really thought maybe I was more of a stay open and flexible, but this particular assessment put me into that judging category. And the more I thought about it, I thought, well, the way they describe it, I do like structures in place. I always say the flexible shall not be broken, But I do like having a structure. I can change, I can shift, I can, reorganize, restructure, but I do like having a structure in there. So some of the things you came across might have surprised you. Some of the things you might have said, yep, that's me. So based on these categories selected by 16personalities.com, they developed 16 personality combinations, hence 16 personalities. So you should have received your combination with a corresponding name at the end of your assessment. And I want you to add this name to the top right corner of your tent card. I know mine, it's advocate. Some of them have the numbers, the letter combinations. You'll have a combination of 4 particular letters based on the categories that we just shared. But then they also associated a name with that letter combination, and it's the letter combination I think will be helpful if you're able to put that on your 10 card. Then, to get ready for your upcoming team conversation, discussion around who you are and how you show up, I want you to take some time to reflect on what you learned or confirmed. Both are just as valuable about yourself in terms of your personality. Recognize your strengths. Recognize things that could present challenges. I don't consider them weaknesses, really, even though the 16 personalities might convey it that way. I don't really think they're weaknesses, but I do think that they're potential challenges, and we want to be aware of those things. Also, I'd like for you to consider this. You're bringing your personality into this team, and others are bringing their personalities. And so in your team discussion, I want you to have a chance to share your personality. You might be interested to find who else fit in that same category. Some you might expect, some you might not expect. But to get to know each other on a deeper level, that can really help you think about who's on this team and what advantages do we have coming together and working together over time, as well as what challenges could possibly present themselves and how will we handle that challenge if our personalities are maybe creating some challenge about how we work together or when we are working together and how we get things done. So you'll be ready to have that conversation. And until I see you again, be kind, be brave, stay curious.